Hello, fight fans. Seattle Mike fights with friends. Everybody, please hit that like button, or I will tell your wife what you did with those three little elves. Make sure you're subscribed, and don't forget to double tap that notification bell so you're notified whenever we drop a new video or go live, like tomorrow, this Saturday, for a heavyweight showdown between Derrick Lewis and Chris Daukus, who is an undefeated prospect, undefeated in the UFC. Chris Daukus actually coming in a slight favorite against the fan favorite and knockout artist Derrick Lewis. But let's just go through this card real quick, starting with the prelims. I'm not going to say this is the best card of the year. It's certainly not the worst. I think it's worth our time. You end up with some good fighters at the end of the year that the UFC has promised them so many fights. Like, they signed a contract that, hey, you're going to get 2 fights in 2021. They might have told Jordan Levitt, you're going to get 3 fights in 2021. Now, if they only offer him 2 fights, Jordan Levitt gets paid for the third, at least the show money. I don't know what they do with the win money or if this ever happens, but he would at least get the show money. That's what the contract says. I doubt that this happens often, if ever. Uncle Dana's pretty thrifty with the company's finances, as you guys know. But last UFC card of the year, so guys that haven't gotten fights offered, this is their last time. So let's go through this quick. Starting at lightweight. God, lightweight is so deep. Matt Sells, Jordan Levitt. You see super close odds. I would take Jordan Levitt just on not really studying this fight a whole lot. Matt Sells, like you say, slight favorite, but basically even odds here. Heavyweights, this is an interesting matchup. Second fight of the night, Josh Parisian, Dontel Mays. That's going to be a tough one to call. Raquel Pennington returning against Macy Chiasson at featherweight. Charles Jourdain and Andrew Ewell, featherweight. That one could be fireworks. Andrew Ewell, very entertaining guy at times, a lot of ups and downs. Not the biggest finisher, or which can, make some of his fights not the most fan-friendly. We'll see if Charles Jourdain can make that fight more interesting. Shizura Eubanks, everybody's favorite formerly stripped fighter, at flyweight, taking on Melissa Gatto. More heavyweights. Harry Hunsucker against Justin Tafa. Oh my God, Justin Tafa hit so hard. Harry Hunsucker he's going to sleep. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's going to sleep. I'm going to throw Justin Tafa. If I bet any of these fights this week, I'm definitely going to throw him on a parlay, just to increase my payout a little bit. Sometimes I'll throw some big favorites on a parlay, and Justin Tafa, Jesus, minus 335. Yeah, he's gonna destroy Harry Hunsucker. You never know, Harry Hunsucker. You never know. That's why they have the fights. Everybody also said, including myself, that Amanda Nunes was going to destroy Pena last week, and we seen that didn't happen. I also bet Dustin Poirier last week, and he lost to Charles Oliveira. So maybe don't listen to me. Raoni Barcelos versus Victor Henry at bantamweight. Not a whole lot of information on that fight. Main fight of the prelims. This is kind of the main event before the main card. Dustin Stoltzfus versus Gerald Meerschaert. I just can't have confidence in betting on Gerald. The guy's too up and down. His cardio is super inconsistent. But his fights are generally entertaining. Dustin, he always brings it. I think he's a little outgunned, most likely, in that fight, though. The return of Cub Swanson against Darren Elkins. Oh, my goodness. Merry freaking Christmas. This is a sleeper fight. Could definitely be fight of the night. This main card is pretty fire, actually. You got Cub Swanson, Darren Elkins. These guys both know how to finish fights. They can't stand judges. I mean, they have every single judge that's on Twitter. Cub Swanson has muted him, blocked him, put a restraining order against him. Matus Gamrot and Diego Ferreira. I mean, these guys are fire at lightweight. Diego Ferreira, I think one of the most underrated guys out there in a lightweight division. It's very easy to get lost in. And Gamrot, God, this guy's just been on a tear. That's a super exciting fight. Rafael Assunção against Ricky Simon. This is why I don't bet on every fight. There's a lot of research to be done somewhere. And I don't know why Ricky Simon is as big a favorite as he is. I know Assunção obviously has had his ups and downs, and more downs recently than ups. But I just don't see how you can count him out of this fight. Plus 220. I don't know. You guys that are betting out there, by the way, give some insight. Tell me what your bets are during the week. I'm interested, and also maybe your strategy if anybody bets during the week. Angela, the Thrill Hill, she's becoming kind of a staple towards the top of these cards every time she fights. She's a very popular fighter. She's also one of these fighters, and this is not necessarily a knock on her. If anything, it's a compliment to her marketing and, her likability. She's towards a lot of the top of these cards, and she seems to be much more popular than what she's backed up with her skills recently. I'm not saying she can't be a good fighter. I definitely enjoy watching her fight, and possibly, that style of fighting makes her more popular and more likely to go towards the top of the cards. We all know, Dana White likes people that entertain. But Angela, the Thrill Hill, coming in a big underdog in this one against Amanda Lemos. This one, they might be setting the Thrill up for a bit of a fall. Definitely gave her a big test here. I really don't see Angela Hill getting that one done. Co-main event. I mean, this one obviously worthy of a main event of a fight card. It's the last fight card of the year. So they really did pack this main card pretty well. I'm pretty happy with this. Former welterweight championship contender, former title challenger Stephen the Wonderboy Thompson, taking on Belal Muhammad. Wonderboy's getting up there in years, 37, 38. These guys are both phenomenal strikers, though. Definitely a candidate for a fight of the night. Then you have Chris Daukus and Derrick Lewis. And this one gets interesting. Let's go ahead and look at this. Derrick Lewis had 25 wins, 8 losses, 12-3 for Chris Daukus. Both guys are the same height, 6'3". Lewis is going to come in with a 3-inch reach advantage. It says 260 for Lewis. We all know he's always going to come in at 265. He's been much leaner in a lot of fights, but he's just a 265 fighter. He cuts to get to 265. And I don't know if that's ever going to change. Winning by knockout, Chris Daukus, actually a higher knockout percentage than Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis, of course, has fought the best of the best. So Daukus 92, Derrick Lewis with 80% of his wins by knockout. And Derrick Lewis had mentioned once, and I think it was after the Curtis Blades fight that he was talking, that he never thinks about the judges' scorecards because he never, it's just never a thought that it might go to the judges for him. He's like, I'm not trying to win a decision. I am trying to finish every single fight. And from the Curtis Blades knockout to when Curtis Blades was coming in and he hit him with that massive uppercut to win, he took out Alexander Volkov with seconds left in the fight. This guy's always dangerous. He's like Maxwell House. He's good to the last drop. Landed per minute. Significant strikes landed per minute. Like I said, there's an obvious discrepancy in the quality of the talent, but when you're landing 9 strikes a minute as a heavyweight, that is absurd. 2.49 per minute for Derrick Lewis. Obviously, he's not a volume puncher. He's trying to take your head off with almost everything he throws. But look at the defense here. Defense, 41% to 64%. This means, Derrick Lewis stops 41% of the strikes thrown at him, 64% for Daukus. I want to look at the strikes again here for a minute. Like I said, landed per minute, 9 per minute for Chris Daukus. He absorbs a little bit more than Derrick Lewis, but not much, 3.4. That means he lands almost 3 times as many strikes per minute as his opponent. Derrick, you can't get much closer to a guy that, he trades shot for shot. As you can see, 2.48 absorbed per minute, 2.49 landed per minute. He gets hit as much as he hits. Grappling takedown average, not a whole lot of takedowns for Chris Daukus. Takedown accuracy for Derrick Lewis, 25%. We don't even have a stat for the takedowns here on Chris Daukus. Maybe he's never taken anyone down. I should probably look into that. If I see differently, I'll throw it up there in the comments. But if anybody knows if he has even had a takedown, let me know in the comments. But takedown defense, 100% for Chris Daukus, 55% for Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis's takedown defense is not that bad. He's faced guys like Daniel Cormier, of course, Curtis Blades. The guy has faced a ton of good wrestlers and good grapplers. So I don't put a ton of stock into that. Neither one of these guys are submission artists. Somebody's getting knocked out. Somebody's getting knocked out. And at the end of the day, if Chris Daukus isn't going to come in and out-wrestle Derrick Lewis, history says Derrick Lewis generally comes out on top. I know he is an underdog coming into this fight. Chris Daukus is this rising heavyweight that they're obviously trying to showcase here. It's kind of a crossroads for the beast. And you also never know what Derrick Lewis is going to show up. Is he going to come in lean and ready like he did against Curtis Blades? Is he going to come in with an injury and out of shape like he did against Junior Dos Santos? It's hard to tell. And knowing anything about the conditioning of Derrick Lewis, I'll be watching him in the weigh-in today, watching his mannerisms. If you can get any kind of lead on any injuries or any difficulties he might have had in training camp, or if he looks great, I think that's really going to play significantly into this fight, and it would definitely significantly affect my bet. If I bet on this fight, it would probably be on Derrick Lewis, but I'm going to watch that weigh-in today and get a better idea of what I want to do, because I just really need to study these fights more often. When you got money on the line, it makes it funner, but you better do your research, because mama's not happy when that bread doesn't come home. Let me know what you guys think, though. Are you happy about this card? Are you excited about it? Is this going to be one you're like, hey, I'm going to skip this card, Mike, and just, I'm not interested. Do you have any bets for this card? Your favorite fighters fighting tonight? Let me know down there in the comments. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses next time.